Somewhere in Mexico, a man is about to be killed by two corrupt cops because he is trying to save his friend. But all the triggers of the guns brought by the two policemen were broken, then stray dogs were released to eat the man. It turned out that this was all planned by the man. This man is Colonel Smith, nicknamed Hannibal. Hannibal deliberately lost to them, so he could track where the two corrupt cops had gone. Elsewhere, another man named Bosco Baracus, with the nickname BA, beats everyone in the garage to save his girlfriend. It turns out his girlfriend is his favorite car. Moving on to another man, Lieutenant Pack, nicknamed Faceman. Face intends to kill General Tuco, but instead of killing, Face even rapes his wife. This causes Face to be killed by Tuco.
Good morning. Now it's a party.
Hannibal, who was chasing the two policemen earlier, met BA. Hannibal intends to rob BA's car to save Face. It turned out that they were both from the same army unit named Ranger. Then BA also wanted to help save Face.
You drive? Have you ever seen, sir?
Tuco's wife was rescued, and Face Man was rolled away.
How's your day going?
Tuco, who did not accept what they were doing, chased him with police officers. Hannibal scolds Face Man because he carelessly came to Tuco alone and almost died. They saved Tuco's wife because she didn't like her husband either. Then they arrived at a special army hospital and met with Hannibal's colleague in Mexico named Mike. Tuco's wife will also be saved by Mike. Then he also gives a pilot who can help them. Although this pilot is very good at flying planes and helicopters, he is quite crazy. He pretended to be a doctor and sewed BA's arm with lightning stitches. This crazy pilot is named Captain Mad Murdoch. Face and BA don't want Murdoch to join them, but it's the madness of Murdoch that Hannibal likes. Now the four crazy soldiers, with their crazy plans, will escape from the pursuit of Tuco and his troops. By stealing the hospital helicopter, they try to escape by being chased by the Tuco helicopter. Although he is very reckless, Murdoch is very good at maneuvering.
2 to 3 steps ahead.
Next, Murdoch lures the Tuco helicopter into American airspace. Because it entered the area without permission, the Tuco helicopter was attacked by missiles by American warplanes. 8 years later, the A-Team, as their elite group of 4 is called, has successfully carried out 80 missions, and now they are an elite combat unit best stationed in Iraq. At the army base, Hannibal is visited by Lynch from the CIA, who wants the A-Team to hunt down Saddam Hussein's loyal followers who will steal $1 billion in the next 30 hours, because they have plates printing US dollars. After printing $1 billion, they will run away from Baghdad. At the same time, Face is visited by Captain Sosa, who has received a mandate from the US Department of Defense to prohibit the A-Team from dealing with the mission to steal dollar bills, because the mission will subject them to military punishment. Hannibal asks General Morrison for permission to carry out this dangerous mission. Still, orders from headquarters have determined that the Black Forest Group led by Pike will handle this mission. Since the Black Forest Group is a secret paramilitary group, so it won't break the law. Even so, Hannibal knew very well that Pike and his group would not be able to handle a mission as complex as this. In the end, General Morrison finally allowed the A-Team to carry out the mission secretly. Hannibal prepares his crazy idea to take the printing plate of the money. But because BA is afraid to ride a flying vehicle, he doesn't want this mission to use a plane or helicopter. Preparations begin. Face steals the mic at the press conference, BA steals the car door, and Murdoch steals the car battery. Then Face, an expert at deceiving and making people trust him easily, approached the ladies and gentlemen to take her ID card and replace it. After that, they also took a lot of air pockets and made a very strong magnet.
To come back here and tell our enemy.
Sosa warns Morrison not to send the A-Team on this mission, which makes Morrison offended by how Sosa acts and talks. But Sosa didn't care because it was a direct order from the US Department of Defense. the mission of stealing plates and money worth $1 billion begins. The A-team is targeting containers in heavily guarded trucks. Face disguises himself as a journalist and goes into a ditch so it can penetrate a hole in the road and stick to the bottom of the truck. Now it's BA's turn. The strongest man who attacked the troops there just as Face had knocked out the cars in the back of the truck.
I need you to pop that clutch at 063.
Now it's Hannibal's turn to take care of the rest. The truck has been taken over, but there is still one car chasing. BA asked to enter the container because the container will be released from the truck. They're at the base, and BA is finally removed from the container. When Morrison was about to come to them, then suddenly, Morrison had been killed by the Black Forest group. The money plate had been stolen by them too. Due to the failure of the mission, and General Morrison was killed. Sosa is demoted to the first lieutenant. Hannibal tries to negotiate because the real culprit is the Black Forest. Still, it cannot be summoned to court because it is not part of military jurisdiction. The A-team was finally dishonorably dismissed because it was considered to have collaborated with the Black Forest to steal the plate. They were imprisoned in different places for 10 years with very tight security. 8 months later, Hannibal in Colorado prison was met by Lynch. Lynch said Pike and the Black Forest troops are very difficult to track and have never been found. Last 1 month ago, seen on CCTV, Black Forest was in Frankfurt, Germany, with an unidentified Arab man. Lynch and A-team's goal is the same, to retrieve the plateau from Pike et al. Hannibal said, if he was given 6 months, then he would be invincible. That's good. Hannibal wants to clear the name of the A-team, and Lynch will also help Hannibal escape from there.
I want full reinstatement and clean record.
Hannibal wants Lynch to send him a cigar mixed with a dose of tetrodotoxin to give him a temporary suspended animation. Just as he was about to be cremated, Hannibal finally came to his senses and fled from there. Face was placed in a Florida prison with fairly complete facilities. Then when Face is in the sauna, Hannibal saves him. The Defense Department knows Hannibal has run away and wants Sosa to hunt him down. Because the A-team allegedly collaborated with the Black Forest to steal the plate, but it didn't. Then, Sosa and his troops could not see the figure who came to Hannibal in prison because the CCTV signal was deliberately interfered with. But they suspect Hannibal has been helped escape by the CIA. Face has been kicked out of the sauna room. At first, Face doesn't want to continue their mission, but Hannibal forces him to clear their name. They both have to save the 2 remaining friends. First, they will save BA by giving the code from the license plate that says, "Emergency, get out now." Since Murdoch was left in the Mannheim Mental Hospital, Sosa and his troops headed straight for it. BA would still help clear their names, but he simply didn't want to commit murder. Now it's Murdoch's turn to be saved. Hannibal sends 3D glasses to be used to watch with the patients there. When the movie is about to start, Sosa and his troops arrive, with the cleverness of Murdoch, who is crazy, pretending to be a mental hospital patient so as not to be suspected. After that, Hannibal took the military plane, and as usual, BA already panicked. The plane finally took off. It wasn't easy for them to escape freely. Not long after, military planes came after and shot them with missiles. Fortunately, they were able to survive by boarding the tank. Face shots at the planes with a machine gun on the tank. This time, the tank is really down. Hannibal directs his troops to fire cannons so their tanks can fly and save themselves. Sosa finally finds out who helped Hannibal escape and immediately calls Lynch. Then, he also warns not to help the A-team steal the plates of the moneymaker. Lynch becomes restless because he is being watched. The Defense Department made him want his assistants to keep an eye on Sosa's every move and tap all his communication devices. Hannibal knew that Pike would give the plates to the Arab men, so he planned to stop their transaction by using Sosa. In addition, Hannibal also analyzed that later Lynch would send his troops to kill Sosa, because Sosa will definitely get in the way of Lynch and the A-team's mission. That's why Hannibal ordered Face Sosa's ex-lover to secretly arrest him. After that, trying to make Sosa aware that the A-team didn't cooperate with Pike at all, the A-team has been framed as if they also stole the plates, and this time they will seek the truth to clear their names. The transaction will start, but the A-team will stop it. The suitcase containing the plates was stolen by Hannibal, but Pike shot him straight away and the suitcase fell. BA was assigned to retrieve the briefcase. BA finally got shot. Pike then beats up BA, and true to his promise, BA doesn't want to kill anyone, then suddenly. Hannibal's plan involving Sosa is successful, and finally, Pike is captured by Sosa. The plate has been stolen, Pike has been arrested, and the Arab man suspected of being the mastermind behind the plate theft has also been arrested. And it turns out, the real identity of the Arab man is...
We all do.
Morrison?
So you see, Morrison deliberately ordered the A-team to steal the plates. Because only the A-team can carry out the mission of stealing the plates from Saddam Hussein's loyal followers. Morrison has worked closely with Pike and Lynch from the start. Turns out Lynch was also involved. Then Morrison pretended to be dead in a car explosion to disguise himself. Then Morrison and Pike betrayed Lynch because Lynch certainly wasn't going to share the profits of the plates with either of them. That's why Lynch deliberately helped Hannibal escape so the A-team could steal the plate back, and in the end, Lynch would kill the A-team and get the plate just for him. Face is very emotional and wants to kill Morrison, who has betrayed the A-team. But Hannibal stopped him because Morrison could later testify that the A-team was innocent in court. Then, because Hannibal could no longer cooperate, Lynch would also bomb them without Hannibal knowing. Then suddenly, the sound of the plane was heard, and the bomb was launched. Lynch thinks that Morrison and the A-team are dead and only Pike is left. Lynch and his squad went to where Pike was being held to take him away. Lynch had the official transfer papers, and Sosa couldn't do anything about it. All the eyewitnesses had been silenced by Lynch. Morrison and the A-team have been killed. In addition, the Pike has also been detained by Lynch. However, even though Morrison did die from being hit by a bomb, the A-team turned out to be still alive, and they still brought the plates. Because Morrison was dead, the A-team lost an eyewitness. But Morrison's testimony in court was the only way to clear their names. Then, Face had a plan. He knew Sosa's phone had been tapped by Lynch. They also deliberately set up Lynch, who must have listened to their conversation with Sosa. Hannibal calls Sosa and says that the A-team and Morrison are still alive even though Morrison is dead. Hannibal said he'd be handing Morrison and the plates to Sosa at the Los Angeles pier in 2 days in the early morning hours. As a reward, Hannibal wants a retrial, lest Lynch knows that the A-team and Morrison are still alive. Because with Morrison's testimony, they can be released, and Lynch will be proven guilty and thrown in prison. Sosa agreed to the deal. Lynch wants Pike to help him kill Morrison and A-team, then steal the plates back. When the phone was closed, now it was Face's turn to call Sosa secretly, and I didn't know what they were talking about. Since they were flying from Germany to Los Angeles, BA is sedated, so he won't fuss. Now Face is setting up the tactics to trap Lynch, and the equipment they need is prepared. Hannibal came to BA and said a quote from Mahatma Gandhi, which makes BA consider whether, in this mission, he should use violence or not. Face is not confident in his strategy because, so far, Hannibal has been the one who has succeeded in formulating the strategy. But Murdoch motivates him and convinces Face that his strategy will work. Then the mission was finally executed. A-Team and Lynch are already there. Hannibal also called Sosa, but Sosa turned out to renege on the agreement, which led Hannibal to remove the fake Morrison and his plate. Lynch's troops, who were going to shoot Morrison, were confused because Face replaced the containers there, intending to trap Lynch's troops. Pike also fires a bazooka to disrupt their plans. Face is attacked by Pike and a shootout ensues. Finally, Face runs out of ammo, then suddenly, BA. It's back to its violent mode. Now only Lynch is left, who hears Hannibal's voice calling his name. Then he got into a container. Hannibal immediately fought back, but he was overpowered. Without further ado, the fake Morrison was shot in the head. The plates were also successfully taken, and a fistfight ensued. Then suddenly, when Hannibal is about to be shot, it turns out that Lynch has been framed, and all his rottenness is heard directly by Sosa and his troops. Then, Lynch was finally arrested. It turned out that when Hannibal finished the call, Face convinced Sosa over the phone and asked for his help in trapping Lynch. Face's plan finally went smoothly, even though Pike had interfered with firing a bazooka. Murdoch, who became a fake Morrison, is also still alive thanks to the bulletproof helmet they made. Turns out Lynch isn't the CIA, and his real name is Vance. Meanwhile, the real Lynch takes Vance to a federal detention center. Even though the A-Team was instrumental in getting the plate back and had proven their innocence, the A-Team was still arrested for breaking the law by escaping from prison. Sosa tried to defend them, but, unfortunately, only in vain. Then, Sosa apologizes to Face and promises to help them. However, they did not just give up while in the prison car, because apparently, somehow, they all managed to escape from the prison car, which makes them immediately hunted by the government. But they are never found, and the A-Team has now become a secret mercenary.
The A-Team.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out this other clips from Recap Go. Consider to like and subscribe.